And welcome back to another episode of the Bolter Brothers, episode
That
six,
6, 7.
6 or 7. I honestly don't even know.
Been a while. This is our
Yeah.
first time recording on a rainy afternoon, first afternoon episode. We usually do it late at night, but now that we're done school for the summer, we can schedule is a little more flexible. So we might have some more episodes
Mm.
coming faster your to the listeners' ways.
Lots of open time now with
Oh,
COVID, no school, work
we
starting soon.
yeah, it sucks. We come home to a lockdown and we just have to wait for work to start and can't do much.
I know. No
We're
more
a
drink.
year into this and we're in the same spot.
Yeah.
But
Need those vaccines coming out.
yeah, I just, heard end of May, if you're over 18, anyone over 18 will be eligible to book an appointment to get their first shot. So we support it and we want to enjoy your summer and I want to have
Oh,
a good summer with everyone.
yeah, I'm gonna go get that vaccine ASAP,
For sure. For sure.
you know? Um, a little bit of movie news. A bunch of
Yeah,
movies got pushed back. Actually, a bunch of video games got pushed back too. They're making Star
yeah.
Wars the Lego video game. They pushed that back. Another like
Mhm.
I don't know, but it was supposed to come out soon. They pushed that
Yeah.
back.
Well,
Um,
thank God for Marvel
Spider-Man's
shows.
what's that?
Thank God for like the Disney Plus Marvel shows that are coming out every
Well,
other
yeah.
month.
Well, Loki got pushed back. Like we were supposed to have Loki by now, and that got pushed back by a couple weeks.
June, so
Yeah, but
June
I mean
11th.
not too far. But we were supposed to have like not like we were supposed to have every week was supposed to be a new Marvel episode, and
Mhm.
then I don't know
I
what happened, but they delayed it.
I wish they did more episodes of like the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like it was getting good and like 6 episodes. Like it was good, but like I hope season 2 is a possibility or a movie,
I think they
either
did
or.
say they're gonna make a Falcon movie. I don't know if it's gonna be Winter Soldier, Falcon and the
Or
Winter
he's gonna be
Soldier.
Captain America. Like I don't, it's gonna be
Yeah, I think
crazy.
it's gonna be a new Captain America. I think they released something about it,
Yeah.
and then they just
But
released the dates for bunch of the new Marvel movies. So the new Black Panther's coming out July 8th, 2022. So that's a year from now. The
mhm.
Marvels, it's from November 2022. So a month and a few, or a year and a few months. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. So that's 2 years, or just less than 2 years. And Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is coming out in 2 years, almost to the date.
And like there's gonna be a couple movies this summer. Like I think Black Widow will be in a month
Yeah.
or two.
Black Widow.
And I think I forget
Is it
what it's
that
called.
the guy?
Legend of the
Yeah,
Rings,
the
the guy.
legend, the guy we were just talking about, the guy from where's he from? Mississauga?
Yeah, I think he's from the GTA um area. He's playing the main character. So another I think this is gonna be the first Canadian in the cinematic universe because Ryan Reynolds is in like the other one, but
Like I guess main actor, yeah.
yeah, main character is Canadian. But those everything's been pushed due to COVID. We've seen a bunch of movies, but I know there is a bunch of fans out there that are will still support, and I think the movie I know like people are still going to watch movies and hopefully one day we can be back in theaters, but I will definitely be back in going to the theaters. It's
Oh,
been a long time.
yeah.
There's just
I th-
something about going to the movies, and watching, being there opening night or within a week in a packed theater, you're like, oh, I got tickets, I got a seat.
I
So
think after after all this COVID, I think a goal in my future house is gonna have like a movie room. Like,
yeah,
some movie seats, the big canvas, the projector.
recliner.
Yeah.
But and then Spider-Man, No Way From Home, the three, that's
Oh, yeah,
gonna be
that's what
two.
it was called. Away from home.
Venom 2 will be within a
No way
year, I
home.
believe.
Oh, Doctor Strange is
Yeah.
2022. Thor Love and Thunder's 2022.
that's Marvel, but DC, we are gonna see a new Suicide Squad, and that has some big names in it.
All right.
John Cena, Idris Elba, Pete Davidson. We get a little bit of comedic humor in there.
Yeah.
Margaret
Um,
Robbie's gonna be back as Harley Quinn.
the new Batman.
Oh, that I think we're just gonna have to do another episode just on that. I think we can agree Batman is both our favorite superhero.
Yeah, Batman is the best. Even though the Marvel movies are better, I do like the darkness the DC universe brings.
Yeah. And we just saw that in the new Justice League, like the Snyder cut.
Oh,
It was long, but it was dark.
it
It
was
was
good.
dark.
I
It was
actually,
good.
yeah, I
I
never
was
even saw the original.
I was impressed. I think if you didn't see the original, like you were fine. Like you would have noticed some things, like less comedy, more dark, just different shots. And obviously, Jared Leto. I thought he was only in one scene, but he was really good as the Joker.
Yeah, his character looks a bit weird. I don't know.
Thought like yeah, it was kind of a weird casting, but I think he was good just for that scene. I think Ben Affleck like was different as Batman. Like he was more dark. Like he was like,
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
I
It's good
liked
though.
it. I'm hoping that Matt Reeves, he directed the Planet of the Apes movies, and I think this is a different. You're taking on Batman, like one of the biggest superheroes of all time. So
Yeah. Well, like what I
a lot
liked
of
about the Planet of the Apes was like the CGI. Like I don't know if it's like the production companies they hire or something. Like some CGI is better in some movies than others. Like the DC
Mhm.
universe, like whoever they hire, like it's not that good. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's not as good as like the Marvel movies, which is weird.
yeah. I know Batman versus Superman was not very good.
Yeah, and like
Um,
the whole mustache thing with Henry Cavill. Ugh.
yeah, there. I'm not expecting any. I hope Matt or Zack Snyder. If how with how good the Snyder Cut was. It'd be. I know. They keep casting new people as Batman, but what the good thing is, about these different actors playing different superheroes, they're just different universes. So you see, different characters, you see them at different times. So
Yeah,
there's maybe this new Flash movie, and they're talking about putting Ben Affleck in it. They're talking about putting Michael Keaton, who was not the original Batman, but the one who started the movies in the '80s, and he was like they're all different directors, and they all cast them differently, and they're different in different Gotham cities.
I think that's what I
But
like about the DC. Like they can expand so much, but I feel like Marvel, like they really try to stick to like the one universe.
yeah, there's a cinematic universe, but then there's your X-Men, your Deadpool, your Sony universe. There's just so many but the Marvel universe is a little big, but I hope DC can make a comeback. I hope this new Batman opens doors, and I hope the new Snyder cut that was released earlier this spring
Yeah,
can keep
I
some
think
movies
what
going.
DC needs to do is expand their directors because they kind of like stick to the same
Mhm.
directors and it's just like it keeps failing. Like when they went to
Yeah,
Christopher Nolan for Batman Rises, Batman Begins, and The Dark Knight, like they were all good. Like and it was a good
mhm.
switch of pace.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's hard, I think, because Marvel, they've had different directors for each movie, but they kind of just gave the DC universe to Zack Snyder, and it just, I think if he was able to do it the way he wanted to do it without DC, I think if they released that Snyder cut in 2017, and if they cut it down to maybe 3 hours instead of four, like that could have opened so many doors for a Justice League Part Two, a Ben Affleck solo movie as Batman. You
I'm
know,
surprised he didn't get one because there
hmm
was like that one scene I can't even remember where he goes berserk and like beats a bunch of like thugs up, and I was
yeah,
like this scene is like sick. Like
no,
why is there
and
no
like
more of this?
as Ben Affleck's Batman, he'd already been Batman for like 20 years, which is crazy because like the Dark Knight series, we didn't really get to we did we bat he was Batman for a few years, but what I'm excited for this new Batman is it's a young Bruce Wayne. I
Yeah,
think they're
I
talking
don't
about
know if
his second year as Batman, so he's going to be young detective. trying to figure his life out being Batman in corrupt Gotham City.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna show like how he gets everything, because like in the first
Yeah.
Batman, like they kind of show how he gets like all of his things, or how he gets the car.
Yeah, I
And
think this new Batman, there's gonna be no like Lucius Fox, where he gets all his stuff. Like he's gonna be doing everything on his own. He's a young like millionaire, he has a young Alfred helping him out.
billionaire,
So
young billionaire.
young. Yeah, I'm excited, but all right, and should we jump into our topic today? We just speaking of movies, we have a movie topic today. And today we're going to be talking about our favorite secondary characters. So, side characters who you think just stole the show or TV show, movie, who are
Yeah,
better, like wasn't
or
necessarily
add
better
to
than
it.
the main character, but you thought just added a whole lot to the movie.
Yeah, make the make the movie a lot better. Um,
Mm-hmm.
well, speaking of
Someone who got
Marvel,
comedic relief.
yeah, speaking of
All
Marvel
right,
Universe,
anyone.
I'm thinking like Lewis from Ant-Man 1 and 2. He's so funny. He's like his first scene is like when he picks up Paul Rudd in the van. Um, he goes on just like all these tragic moments, and he just like turns it into like a funny scene. But I think he
Mm-hmm.
adds
He
to
definitely brings
the movie.
comedic relief for
Yeah,
Paul Rudd because there's Paul Rudd's up and down in that movie. Like and I love that scene in Ant-Man 2 with like the truth serum where he's just like repeating everything he says. Like, this isn't truth serum. Oh, wait, is it truth serum? But
yeah. Well, like I don't know if I wouldn't say he plays the same character in every movie, but he plays a pretty similar character. Um,
mhm,
but like some actors are just like that.
yeah, no, once you've been around for a bit, you start to get the same roles, but it's good to
Hmm.
change it up every once in a while, I think.
Yeah.
And if we're on the um superhero side of things, I'm gonna start with like believe like Ezra Miller as the Flash in the Snyder cut. I just think he was like the only comedic relief in the movie. And like so when all these other superheroes were being dark and like wanting to get vengeance and kill, like he was just kind of there as like that awkward, funny character. Cause like his character, he's kind of like I get like he
Yeah.
was the funny one in the group superhero. Like he's kind of an outcast, a weird guy who just kind of just does what he wants and he says like he needs friends and he's awkward and he just has all these jokes throughout the movie and when they're killing in blood and
Yeah.
like there's
He's
like blood in the scene.
I don't know if you've seen The Flash, like the show, but he's definitely different than like because the actor in the show is like I don't even know his name, but he's like pretty serious and like
Mm-hmm.
I mean if I think there's a few jokes in like here and there, but like this guy's like weird all the time and like
Yeah,
kind of smart.
but
Um,
not like he's just kind of a got
yeah.
someone who just got these powers and is just doing it for
Hmm.
fun and
So he's like a weird, quirky character, which is good. But I don't know if I think I need to see him in something else, like in another Flash movie, like with the same
yeah.
character, to see
Mm-hmm.
how he really is. But yeah, I don't know if you've seen Red 1 or 2, but
Yeah,
those are
but I've seen both.
they're both good. I watched Red 2 again the other day, and I was just thinking like Marvin, like what a good character. Like he actually like
is
brings.
is Marvin the one who has like the pig and pulls like the gun out of it
Yeah,
in the
he's
first
always
one?
like got.
Okay.
He's always just like he's basically crazy. And like
Yeah, he's like
when
a
they
controlled
first meet him in the first movie, he's like living under a house in a bunker, thinking like the aliens are coming to get him. Obviously, he's like a weird character, but like you don't really get weird characters that people like in movies. So I think he does it. He does it well,
yeah.
and he's in a bunch of other movies,
Mm-hmm.
but he
I don't
plays
even
the
know.
same
I forget
character
how
in
to
both
pronounce his
movies.
name. John. I forget how to pronounce his last name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
All right. My next one, I'm gonna have to say Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think he was just like that. Like I know him and Leo kind of shared the spotlight, but like I think his character was just a little more engaging because there's kind of he goes on off as when like he drops Leo off or like Leonardo DiCaprio's character off to go like cuts film scenes, he kind of goes on his own side story with the Manson family and goes out to the ranch, and he brings a little like more he has a little more like serious funny lines in it.
Hmm.
And like he does all the dirty work in the movie. You know, the ending, he just beats the shit out of all those Manson family. And like
Oh yeah,
I
it's so
love that
good.
scene when like he accidentally smokes the acid joint and he goes out for a walk, and um just he's like, you know, that funny, and like that scene where he just kicks when he beats up Bruce Lee and has all those funny one-liners. And
Yeah.
you know, he definitely deserved that Oscar he won for it.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like sometimes I consider him that movie like almost like the main character.
Yeah, like a lot of people think like it was mostly his story instead of Leonardo DiCaprio's.
Yeah. But Tarantino did a
But
good
I think,
job.
yeah, I think it was a good casting and favorite. I just love that scene when like when he's like, oh, he murdered his wife, but like he did, like we don't know. We
Yeah.
think, yeah. And
Yeah,
you know when he's driving Leonardo DiCaprio around the whole time, and just like he watches all his shows with them and lives on that little trailer out by himself. But yeah, I think
yeah. And his
uh
dog.
his
Mm,
dog.
the relationship between him and his dog is like funny and like it's just like
Yeah.
that's cool, you know?
I really like Brad Pitt in this movie, and you know, Quentin Tarantino always has
Mm.
good roles for him, but this was a good side character for him.
Brad Pitt is also very good in he's good in a lot of movies, but I like him in
Yeah.
Oceans like 11, 12, and 13.
Yeah,
Uh
I like he's that funny old like kind of veteran to Matt Damon who kind of just like takes him under his wing as like what to
yeah.
do and not to do.
Yeah, and I was thinking of like Matt Damon movies, like that's kind of like the only movie he's really like a side character in. And like most of the other movies, like he plays like pretty big role.
Mm-hmm.
But in The Departed, I think Mark Wahlberg plays like Sergeant Digman. Like he's so good at
Yeah,
it. Like apparently he applied or like went for a like a what is it called? Like a casting thing.
like a main role, like an audition.
Audition, yeah. He went for like an audition as Leonardo DiCaprio's character. But they're like, listen, like Leo's gonna take this, but you can be whatever you want. And like they said you can say whatever you want, like whatever lines you
Yeah,
want. I don't know
I'm
what lines he did,
that's a
but
lot of people from Boston in that movie, so that would
I
have to
think
be
that
a
was
tough
the idea. That was
tough choice.
who was the director again? That was
That was Scorsese.
Scorsese, yeah. Yeah, Scorsese. But yeah, and then like the ending is just like huge turnaround. Like I think it's like halfway through the movie, he kind of like just like leaves because his boss dies, kind of
Yeah,
disappears, and then
he comes back.
shows up at the end, kills Matt Damon.
And like,
Just like boom, big plot twist. Like that's the
yeah,
ending.
throughout that movie, like he always had his suspicion. Like, you know, there's a couple scenes where like he's like with the captain,
Mhm.
Martin Sheen, I think. I and like he's like screaming at Leo like he's a tough Boston cop, like knows the ins and outs and like will figure it out, and he does at the end. And he just like, I love when he's wearing like those things over his shoes and is like making sure that no trace, and he just shoots Matt Damon right in the head.
And he knows.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go talk more serious characters, I'm gonna have to say I think Woody Harrelson as like Haymitch in the Hunger Games. I think he was really good because it was a different role for Woody Harrelson. Like he wasn't necessarily comedic relief, but he was a really like serious, like wanted to take care of um Jennifer Lawrence, and is it
I don't even know.
Peta?
Yeah, PETA. I know that's his character's name.
I forget who plays him, but I just love him. You know, he's always drunk, but he knows what he's talking about, and like he really took care. Like he defended Katniss and Peta and like the rebellion, um and like he had so many issues. Like he had a bad past with the games, and he wanted to get back at them for what they have done to him. And like he's just like was that character that was there to like at like, oh my god, like remember like Katniss, and was like whenever she was in trouble in the games, like Haymitch would go out and make sure something was sent to her. And like he really like he trained them, he made sure like they had the right connections in the movies. But I really like this role
Yeah,
for him
he
because
kind of plays
he
like
was always there
like a
throughout it.
plays like a father role.
Yeah, he's like a father figure, but like, he's more than just like drinking and stuff all the time because at the end of the day, he'll take care of those two main
I don't
characters.
know if you've seen Solo, like the Star Wars movie
Yeah,
Solo.
yeah.
He's like in like the mob, or not the mob, like he's in like their crew or
He's a
whatever.
bounty hunter.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he plays the he kind of plays a similar role where he plays like the leader almost, and like, but like he's
tells Han Solo, not like it's kind of the same role, but a little different. But
mhm.
yeah, I really liked him, and I think Woody Harrelson's he has some good movies, and
Yep.
he's an older actor, so
What's that
he
movie?
definitely.
Zombieland. I love him in
Oh,
Zombieland. It's so
yeah.
good. Oh, don't want if you seen Zombieland 2?
No, I have not, and I've
Oh,
told not to.
yeah, don't watch it. It's not that good.
Yeah. The first one, it was one of those movies that was so dumb it just kind of blew up, and everyone's like, "Oh, Zombieland!" Like it
Yeah,
was just
it
one of
was
the movies that,
different, right?
yeah, it was just different.
Yeah, the second one, they were like, I don't even know. Like, you're just
It was
dumb.
one of those sequels that like didn't need to happen, but like happened.
Happened only because the first one did so good.
Yeah, and then they just waited 10 years.
Yeah. Um.
Who you got next?
I think we both have this guy. The legend, Heath Ledger. That's the Joker, of course.
Yeah, that's nothing but over best villain of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's too bad. Like, I kind of wanted to see him in more movies, and they were definitely like 100% gonna make a second one with the Joker in it. I bet you
Oh,
they would have had
he was
Tom
going to be in the
Hardy.
Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I feel like they
I
would
think
have
they would have
had.
had both.
Yeah, I think so too. Except
Mhm.
Joker would have been the main villain, and then like uh Bane would have been like the side character, like the side villain.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure Christopher Nolan had plans. I'm not really too sure. Like I've never really looked into it, but it would have been exciting. There probably would have been another just a solo movie with Joker and Batman.
Yeah, or
But
they could
yeah,
they
he definitely brought the best and worst out of characters throughout that movie. The whole chaos thing in Gotham, but like just the stuff Heath Ledger did before the movie. He locked himself in a room like he
for
did
a
his own
month.
makeup. He messed it. He
Yeah,
made his makeup like bad on purpose, and like he was well prepared, and he
yeah.
got the Oscar, just wasn't there to accept it.
I don't
But
know if you've seen the video of the Oscar. But it's pretty sad. Where
pretty
it's like his
sad, yeah,
his
because
family
like
comes up, and everyone kind of realized like the talent he had, and
yeah, no. And like you see the reaction of the actors who were nominated for that award, and they're like, "Oh," but like at the end of the day, like it was just a great role. Like
yeah, he
I
he
think people were
really
surprised, like, "Oh, a superhero movie winning an Oscar," but people don't realize like it wasn't your typical superhero movie. Like, yes, Batman's a superhero, but it was a dark, like corrupt,
yeah, it was basically like an action movie.
it was an action movie. Yeah.
Like a, I don't know, like a stereotypical action
It,
movie just with Batman
and
in it, like the
like
the
every time I
robberies.
watch that movie, like I always notice something new about the
Oh, I
characters and
know.
stuff.
I think the more I watch it, the more I realize that like Heath Ledger's like, I feel like he's in like almost every scene, and then like when I watch it back, it's just like he's in like a scene here and there, and it's just like every scene he's in, he steals the show.
Yeah, no, he was very good in that, and it would have been great to see him in more, but
Hmm.
it'll be hard to find a good replacement if they ever make another Batman
Yeah,
movie with the Joker, which they
Joaquin
will. But
Joaquin Phoenix
I'm
he did all right.
yeah, that was just a different movie. It was a dark Joaquin, that's a dark movie too. But I think
That was
we
more
will
about
see because
mental illness than it was about.
yeah, just all right. Let's switch over to comedy, and I'm gonna start with I have Jonah Hill for two movies. I have Jonah Hill for Moneyball, and I have Jonah Hill for Wolf of Wall Street. So I'll start with Wolf of Wall Street. I think like he wanted to be in this movie so bad. His character is hilarious. Like
Yeah,
just all the stuff he does in it. He was really good with Leo, and like they really changed up. Like it was like it was comedy, but it wasn't your typical Jonah Hill comedian role, like comedy role.
yeah, it was almost like realistic. Like,
It was almost like it was a real life movie, and like he wanted to be in the movie so bad he took a huge pay cut, like
yeah,
only $60,000, which I know it's money's money, but for an actor, he took a minimum to be in the movie, and he was nominated because of how good he was.
I think he
He
wanted to
was,
be with the director. That was the main reason.
yeah, he had wanted to work with Scorsese so bad, and they just said,
Mhm.
we can do it, but we're not going to pay you as much as we do Leo. But at the end of the day, Jonah Hill's character was Donnie. He was so funny just throughout the movie. And like that scene where he jokes about how he's married to his cousin, and like
Yeah.
just
Oh,
all the one-liners he has in the movie. It's so funny, like, because he's a young millionaire and he just does all this stupid stuff. And
his introduction scene, like when they're at the restaurant, is really good.
restaurant,
Yeah, it's really
and with
good.
the glasses and stuff, that was
Yeah.
really funny.
He's like, if you show me a paycheck,
Yeah.
I'll quit my job and
And
work for you right now.
Moneyball, Jonah Hill and Moneyball, it's another Brad Pitt movie. Like, it wasn't your another once again not your typical Jonah Hill role. Like, he was serious, like he brought that comedic relief, and but he was a numbers guy, and just the way he told, like, Brad Pitt's
Mhm.
like, who are you? And Jonah Hill's like, well, I'm like your number one guy. Like, we can figure this out. And like, and just that scene where Jonah Hill's like, when we point to you, you shut up or you talk. And like,
I haven't seen the movie in so long, like probably
yeah,
like
I haven't seen it in a while, but Jonah Hill was still
five
really good
years.
in it. He was like a young numbers guy, and he's pretty funny in it.
Mhm. All right. Who do I got up next? Oh, I know you're a big Office fan, and so am I. I haven't seen The Office in probably I watch an episode here and there, but like Dwight Schrute, Rainn Wilson, so funny.
Yeah, he is funny.
His
He's got
character is just so out there.
no one likes him, but he's a funny character.
Yeah, like no one likes him in the show, but like I feel like he's a fan favorite.
Oh yeah.
And like once Steve Carell like quit in like season 7, he kind of took over the show with John Krasinski in season 7 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say
We
they
can
like
also tell. Yeah,
saved it, but
we
they
can
kept
also
it going.
say I never even thought about Jim from The Office, John Krasinski, because he's not like there's no main character in The Office, but like he was also very good. I
I,
think.
I would say Steve was the main character
Yeah,
for most of it.
I think everyone in The Office was great because they all wrote it. Like even the small roles, like Ryan, like be like Novak, they were all writers and they were all producers, and that was just a well done show throughout the
Hmm.
years, and they all
Yeah,
had their
definitely.
one liners and they were all funny. My next one, I'm gonna have to say um like Anchorman, like Paul Rudd as Brian Fantana, the sports like or as the news like out on the field, the like champ David like Kuchner as the sports, and like Steve Carell as the weather guy. I think those three really brought out like the best, like in like they were just a funny, like whenever Will Ferrell was with them, it was always a funny scene. Like Steve Carell was so funny. Like
Yeah,
he
he's
played
so
that
good.
like
He's so underrated.
I think like and Paul Rudd, just like I love that very first introduction scene where you get to meet all the news things and they all say funny stuff, and like they all like Paul Rudd. I think like I think Paul Rudd's also a very underrated actor. But I just
I
love that
also
introduction scene
the,
where he's like,
the
oh,
Ageless
like
Wonder, eh? Paul Rudd. Uh,
I think those three really brought like the good, nice, like Will Ferrell was great, but I think there was just like those one-liners from each of all those other characters were really funny, and like
I can't remember if it's
movie.
from the first one or the second one, but when they're in the big fight between the news channels, that's like it's just such a stupid scene. It's just funny. Like it's just so
Yeah, and there's
stupid.
just
It's
so
funny.
many big name actors. Like, what are you doing in this movie? But like,
Yeah.
it's just because like it's funny, and um, but yeah, I really liked like the Channel 4 news team. I think there was never a bad scene when all four of them were in it.
Yeah. Um. Okay, my last one is Robin Williams as Sean in oh my gosh, blanking. Good Will Hunting as the
Oh, the
therapist.
therapist. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was really good.
I think he won an Oscar for it as best supporting actor, and he's just so good. Like it's definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. Like
Yeah.
Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Robin
Mhm.
Williams.
And like at the time, Robin Williams was like the biggest name because like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon were young actors, but Robin Williams was already a big name because that was a late 90s movie. And we
Yeah.
people had already known who Robin Williams was, and that was a different character for Robin Williams, a little more serious, like he was also not very well. Like his character was a dark, sad, like, he'd lost his wife, but he really helped Matt Damon. And he had some funny scenes, but he was definitely a central character, essential for Matt Damon and a great side character.
Yeah, I'm just looking at when he died. He died the same year his wife did. But how did his wife die again?
In who, Robin Williams?
Yeah, in real life.
I have no idea. It was the same year. Wow.
Yeah. Like Robin Williams, they're married from 2011 to 2014. I
Hmm.
know
Well,
he did not go out in the way most people go out.
no, it was kind of sad. It was
Yeah, this I remember it, but what were we like? This was
we were
7 years ago.
probably just going to end of elementary,
Yeah.
beginning high school area. But no, he was very good in that, and that was a really good movie, one of the top movies of all time.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite movies. Like I watch it I watch it every once in a while. I think I've seen it 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, did she die?
I don't know. Like
I don't know. Oh, maybe it was just saying when they were married till.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we can just take everything back about Robin Williams' wife. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm reading here. But he did die, unfortunately.
Yes,
Rest in
I think
peace.
he was one of the biggest actors in
He
the last couple of years.
Night at the Museum movies are also very good, and he's good in those. I think he
He's
plays.
also, I think he stole the show in Aladdin too. I know it's a cartoon, like as the genie.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah, definitely.
he was
Oh
very
yeah,
good in that.
that was like his early career, wasn't it?
That was like probably one of his first big movies, and we can't forget
Oh
Good.
no, it was only 1992. So I guess
Well,
for
that's
mid-career.
And we have our Good Morning Vietnam. That was in the 90s.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good movies.
Mhm.
He
But
also
no, he was
plays.
definitely good side characters in Aladdin and Good Will Hunting.
Yeah. What else does he do? Patch Adams, he's good in. Oh,
Mhm.
Hook.
Yeah. He was a
Classic.
big 90s. All right, and my last one, we're gonna also go back to a more 90s. He's been in all sorts of movies. I'm gonna have to say Eddie Murphy in Shrek as Donkey. Just Donkey's
Okay.
that funny, just annoying character, but you just can't get like enough of him.
Mhm.
Throughout the movie, he's always there and he always says something funny. Yeah, I think Donkey's like definitely one of those characters where like it wouldn't be the same movie if Shrek didn't have him. I think Eddie Murphy was like a great voice, just like that loud, like what, like he had that
Yeah.
carrying over voice.
I don't
He's a
really
good goofy best
understand
friend.
like Shrek. Like it's just like a classic Disney cartoon, but for some reason it just won so many awards. Like I don't understand why.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, if you look at it, like,
Like yeah, it's good, but so are all the other ones,
yeah, no, Shrek 1 is definitely the best, just because there's so many jokes in there that, and like the cat, like, um,
The Pinocchio joke when he's wearing like the say a
thong.
lie. Yeah, where he's
Yeah,
wearing a thong. Like I watched that again. Like I saw it on like TikTok or something, and I was like,
and like,
that is funny. Like I realize that now,
and
but
like,
like back in the day,
uh,
I wouldn't have
all
not
the
have thought
little
of that.
side characters in Shrek are funny, like the gingerbread man, Pinocchio. Is it the three pigs that have like the accent? They take care of
Yeah,
his house. It's all funny.
I like Lord
Um,
Farquaad because everyone just
Farquaad, yeah,
makes
fun of him.
comparisons and like no like yeah the people like anybody that has like long blonde dark brown hair like oh and they're short like oh you look like Lord Farquaad.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
He's just like loyal to Shrek, like through thick and thin, like Shrek will get mad, he'll be there at the end of the day. Like Donkey will be there. Like we don't have an origin story, but we didn't need one. He was just there right away being funny and like he took a liking to Shrek immediately. and was really funny. Like, you know,
Oh
the
my
whole
gosh.
time they're traveling, like, are we there yet? Like, are we there yet? Or that whole like Shrek 2 when he's like through the
Yeah.
whole car ride.
I totally forgot Mike Myers is Shrek. Like I never put the voice to the character.
Mhm.
Cameron Diaz is
I
Princess
just thought of
Fiona.
another one. I I know I've asked you this, but I honestly forget. Have you seen Super Troopers?
I have it. I honestly watched it like 2 years ago, 3 years ago for the first time. Both of
Okay.
them. I
I
watched the
just
old one and the new one. They're both funny.
I love as a side character like the cop Rodney Farva, like the big fat one that they all make fun of, and like he's on like the radio. I just love his
Oh yeah.
like he's so funny and has all those like they just make fun of him, but he has like a bunch of one line. He's just that dumb funny character. It's like
You're talking about the old Super Troopers, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
the
and he's in
original?
the new
Yeah.
one too. Like he's in the first and second one,
Yeah,
but the
that
first
he's like the bigger guy, right?
yeah, and like he's on the radio and like Unit 91. Do you need my assistance?
That's the same guy in Dukes of Hazzard, and he is so funny. He plays this like weird redneck, and he like eats
Yeah.
possums, and like it's just so funny. He's a funny
Yeah, he's
character.
really that funny character, and I just love that scene, like when he goes into the fast food and I'll liter cola, and like he just starts like he can't be out on the field because like he's just so like he just can't like he's dumb, like he's that dumb cop that makes like stupid stuff that will get him in trouble, but his actions are really funny. Like I just love how they pick on him, but like he always has one-liners to come back, and just like that name, Rodney Farva.
Yeah.
But
Um.
yeah, those are we
Oh,
had some good side characters.
I'm
I'm
gonna
sure
add
we
another
missed
one.
some,
I'm gonna add another
but
one. Happy John Favreau from Spider-Man.
oh yeah, he was good throughout the whole Marvel series.
Yeah, and I guess all the Iron Mans,
Hmm.
because like he's just so good, and it's funny how he directs them. Like I just find it he's a
Yeah,
character, and
I love that, like him and Aunt May and all the jokes, like when they're flying the pan, like oh, like when he's like, "I'm dating your Aunt May," and Peter's like, "What?" He's like, "Never mind."
yeah, I always
Or
find it funny. He's always
at the end
dating.
of Endgame, like we can get you all the cheeseburgers you like, because like he got him his dad, like Tony Stark, a cheeseburger like right away in
Oh yeah,
part one.
yeah. John Favreau always like dates like the nicer looking women,
Hmm.
like in Chef
Oh, Scarlett Johansson, yeah,
and Sophia Valverde
yeah.
or whatever the heck her name is.
Hmm. But
But
no,
yeah,
those are some good characters, and I'm it's a good way, another movie podcast for us, but I'm happy that it's summer and
yeah. Well,
hopefully our goal is if lockdown is lifted and we're allowed to like be outside with each other is to do one around a table and actually like do your more traditional podcast instead of over Zoom and be right there and socially distance, of course.
yeah. I think we got a few
Couple more
ideas
weeks.
for in-person
Yeah.
ones like that. We want to eat some hot wings.
Mm. We want to
Uh,
do one. We are all over 19 now. We want to do one where we have like
I
a
s-
a
I say we
drunk
go.
podcast
I'd say
or
we
we
go out and try a bunch of the local breweries. Like not
yeah,
like bring them home and then try
bring
them.
them home and then try them. And just a shout out, tomorrow, May 4th, is Luke Ainsworth's 20th birthday, another birthday in lockdown, but you know what? We
It's
can still.
more important day is Star Wars Day.
Yeah, it is Star Wars Day tomorrow, and we did not talk about Star Wars characters, but I'm sure
All characters
tomorrow,
are too important for Star Wars, so they're
yeah,
all main
I
characters,
will
so we can
definitely
add
be
them.
watching some Star Wars tomorrow.
Uh, yeah,
Better be on TV.
the Bad Batch show comes out tomorrow. First episode 75 minutes.
Oh, right.
So that's like
75 minutes.
yeah, it's a cartoon and it's just like Clone Wars, like the show.
Yeah. Well, we
There's
got introduced to the Bad Batch in the last season of the Clone
oh
Wars.
yeah, and
So
then this is like right after Clone or Revenge of the Sith. So I don't know if they're gonna.
and they're not like going to be bad like because they're not your average clones, like they kind of are against the whole system in the
Yeah,
Republic. But yeah,
and
tomorrow is Star Wars Day, and
and if you ever get bored and you're hungry on, you can head over to Your Fish and Chips for some good
I
fish and
know
fries.
we do take out every once a week maybe, so I'm definitely going to suggest that. And it's the only, like, your fish and chips, it's battered, deep fried, like that's how I like to eat my
Mm,
fish. And
that's right. The only way to eat it.
and I'm sure people out there have, all our listeners in St. Thomas have most likely have had your fish and chips. Good shout out to our good friend Mark Snetzler.
Yep, best in town. Way it's done. All right, I guess we'll wrap it up for today. Thanks for tuning
Have a
in,
great
everyone.
night.
Take care.